Like, are you good at the Ric Flair impression?
No,
No.
no,
Woo!
no.
Woo!
I could do one, but I'm not good at it.
It's showtime.
Showtime! Woo! Woo! Silent and profiling.
He's my favorite. He's just the GOAT just off of that right there. What's up, everybody? It's IUWEtalk and BGE, Black Gamut Entertainment. You can go ahead and head over to blackgamutent.com and check out the podcast over there where you can find us among other great shows. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about today. We got Browns draft, the regular NFL draft, NBA playoffs, and Jeff's got some nuggets for you today, okay? He's got some nuggets for you. So get your dollars out, get your dollars ready, because he's going to help you win some money on the Kentucky Derby. But first, we have a segment called Cleveland, This Is For You. And all I got to do is something very simple and find the graphic. Here we go.
Instead of saying, why me? They're saying this is what he want me to do. And, Cleveland! This is for you! Oh!
LeBron, you did what no other team had been able to do.
Cleveland, this is for you, okay? Now, the Cleveland Browns, not the Cavs, just had a draft. But real quick, man, I really, really wish that LeBron would have sang Cleveland, This Is For You. Like, you know how many rappers would have remixed that? Cleveland would have had its own anthem being bumped all over the world. Like, could you imagine, like Cleveland, you know what I mean? This is for you. You know what I mean? If people try to hit that high note, oh, it'd have been epic, dude. It would have been epic. But Jeff, what do you got on the Cleveland Browns draft that just happened?
Yeah, I would never try to sing like that. But you know what?
He should.
I don't know. Even leading up to the Browns draft, everyone loves the draft, but when you don't have a pick in the first round and you got to wait till blah blah blah, a lot of people get disinterested. But we'll see. It's just what we were talking about a little bit before the show. They had the 44th pick, and it's because of all the moves they made, which we'll see how those go. You know, D. Watt, Amari Cooper, blah blah blah, everything that happens down the line. But they had the 44th pick, and I know this was like probably the most wide receiver heavy draft I've ever seen in my entire life. Every single wide receiver that caught a touchdown and last year got drafted. But anyway, 44. I heard today that between 44 and 68 that they traded down with Houston. Yes.
Right.
There were six receivers taken, and a couple of them a little more high profile than David Bell. But, David Bell, he played at a Big Ten school with, a passing offense, and this kid wasn't lowly rated. So I think that David Bell was a good first pick, but I think they addressed a couple of their other needs. It's always funny when someone drafts a kicker, but we'll see. Well, you know what I mean?
We felt it necessary. Necessary, and that's okay. But the thing is we came out of this draft with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players and 2 extra picks for next year, which we're going to need all the picks that we can get. Now, I don't mind David Bell. You can also talk over this video. Also, Jeff, it's not going to mute you, but this is some highlights of David Bell. This is the wide receiver that we got, and we really needed to address this position for somebody to get out on the field that's going to demand some attention away from Amari Cooper. Now, here's the thing. David Bell is as sure-handed as anybody in this draft that just came out. I'm talking Drake, London Drake, whatever his name is, Sky Moore, any of the guys. He's as sure-handed as all of them. But the thing is that knocked his stock down was his slow 40 time. And in reality, it's not even a slow 40 time. He ran a 4.65. Okay, that's not a blazer.
check this out.
What's up?
Talk about Jarvis Landry. He's been successful. Same guy.
Yeah.
Runs good routes and doesn't go. And then you want to go over the top? Let's talk about Jerry Rice, because guess what they said about Jerry Rice when he came out of the draft?
Slow.
He wasn't fast enough.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. And like, as you can see through the highlights, this dude's got toughness. He's getting through tackles. He's fighting for extra yardage. His hands are as sure as they come. I really like the move, and I think that's why they traded down, because they were like, yo, I think everybody else is sleeping on this guy. We'll see, of course. We'll see how it plays out.
Right, like I said, there's 6 guys that got taken between pick 44 and there. So, I mean, it's going to be easy to go back and look at the numbers after season 1 and be like, oh, the Browns missed it or they did it. But then we also got to look and see how this kicker does, because that was part of that plan. They passed up 44 to get Bell, a kicker, and what's his name? Farion.
Oh, Perrion.
That's who they got.
Perrion Winfrey. Winfrey.
That's who they got for passing up on 44. So there's a lot to see what happens, to see if it worked out or not. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly. You're 100% right. Now, I'm never, ever going to claim to be an NFL scout of any kind, but I do have sources that I trust dearly, and they have not let me down. And I'm telling you, drafttech.com, they really put in a lot of good work over there, guys. They do a lot of good football analysis, and they love Perrion Winfrey. They love him. That was graded a B+ over there on Draft Tech. Go check out my man Austin Smith. He's a writer and scout for them, and he does really great work. I worked with him for a long time. He really liked our David Bell pick, but here's the really crazy thing about it. When we finally did get to make our first pick, it was Martin Emerson, a quarterback or a corner. So that threw everybody for a loop. We took Greedy early. We took Denzel early. We took other safeties early. We've taken a lot of corners early.
We needed outside rushers before that.
Yeah, I know. And like I said, we can't judge them too harshly right now. But even the guys on Draft Tech were like, I don't really get this. But see, here's the thing. How much time has Greedy missed? So much. Even Denzel Ward's missed a lot of time. These guys are awesome cover corners, but they can't take a lot of punishment. They really can't. They get hurt quite a bit. So to strengthen that position, I don't think it's a horrible thing. I don't think it's bad to be deep at any, position. So it's hard to really judge it at this point in time, but we're going to have to see. You know what I mean? You got anything else on?
No. So what do you think? Do you think the Browns did okay? Do you think they did good?
I think we did.
I've heard anywhere from B to C-, which pretty much means you did okay. And you never know until these guys start playing.
You know what? Yeah, and you know what? There weren't any of our picks that were like, oh, so sexy. That was like a sexy pick. You
can't have a sexy pick at 68.
The more boring drafts are for your team, it's probably you probably got a lot better.
Ask Baltimore about that shit.
Exactly. San Antonio also. The whole organization, top to bottom, is boring, but they've been able to build and sustain, and maybe they didn't do so well this year, but they've been drafting well for so long, and all of their picks seem so boring, but their guys work out, So,
is this last thing on draft? Because I got my one take, because I know this is going to be part of the show, but Joe can't be with us and Andy's out of town. But my one other take on the draft was the Steelers Kenny Pickett quarterback take. And that threw everybody off. And they're like, what the hell? This guy he was what, second, third, fourth quarterback on the board? But you know what? It intrigues me because he played at Pitt, and their practice facilities are right next to each other, and they've actually practiced together. So Kenny Pickett's probably already practiced with Ben Roethlisberger and met Mike Tomlin. And there's something about this pick that the Pittsburgh Steelers, who also are pretty good, as we know, year in and year out.
Right.
and there's something there, but that's like the one pick that stood out to me because no one was expecting that. But they know something. They know something and know the kid. He's played there. He already knows the crowd. The people know him. And that's one of the things that we talked about the Browns a few years ago, remember? Draft local guys. There's so many studs in the NFL from local places. So draft them. And they never got on the wagon successfully. But I think there's something about this Pickett. I think there's something about this Pickett kid, man.
Okay. Hey, I'm right there with you. And you know what? While we're on the topic, we'll go ahead and just transition to the NFL draft that the Browns didn't have anything to do with. Bam! Transition. Okay, so here's my thing. All right. There's a couple of guys that I have acquired tons of interest in as far as who to draft in the rookie draft for fantasy, and who makes a huge impact for their football team in the football aspect. Because there's one thing that we need to separate. Anybody who's watching this, yes, we are a fantasy show. Yes, we do talk fantasy mostly, and we do talk about news and stuff like that. But there is a significant difference between fantasy relevant and NFL team relevant. Okay, big differences here. And another note, something else to note. This is lying season. These NFL coaches out here, they're lying to you every day. Don't trust a word they say, not one word. But the problem is they can't lie to you with the moves that they make. They cannot lie to you with the moves they make, the contracts that they put out, the guys that they draft, and the moves that they make with the roster makes a big difference. Makes a big difference. So with that being said, I think Treylon Burks is going to be the guy. He's going to be the guy. I watched tape on him a little bit very recently, actually. Treylon looks great, and he went to Tennessee. Tennessee just got rid of A.J. Brown. Now, that's something that at the time everyone's like, whoa, why on earth would you ever trade A.J. Brown? Why would you do that? It doesn't make any sense. Well, think back. Think back to when Atlanta traded Julio Jones. Think back to when Minnesota got rid of Stephon Diggs. These are huge names that just left. But when they left, these other guys stepped up. Not many people thought Justin Jefferson was going to smash records when he got into the NFL.
He's a beast.
He's a monster. And the Vikings knew it, and they said, we're not going to be able to pay Justin Jefferson and Stephon Diggs and Adam,
you know what?
And Dalvin Cook.
Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase are the reason that there were so many wide receivers drafted this year on these binges.
Yeah.
It was sick. It's never been seen before. And those are the two guys. Those are the two guys. And now there's going to be more, because when you see a giant piece leave like that, another one's coming in that they are going to feed the ball to. They're going to feed the ball to Treylon Burks. Like, I mean, he may outshine everybody else on this wide receiver list. He may outshine everybody else that was drafted, period. Was there anything else outside of the Browns draft that caught your attention, Hefe? No, not really. Actually, I was really busy at work, man. We got slammed today, and I was thinking about a couple extra things to look at, but there's a couple interesting non-drafted free agency signings already. You know what I mean? They do that shit right after the draft's over. And the Bears got some guy that was supposed to be pretty good. Like I said, I didn't really have that much time. I've been focusing on the Derby. But
the
Bears got a guy. And other than that, I mean, as far as the Browns draft goes, aside from the draft, I just got crushed. DeAndre Hopkins, thank you, dude.
Oh man, yowzers! That was a surprise today. That was a surprise. So yeah, we'll touch on that in a little bit for sure. But I do believe we have I don't have my fantasy impact. Screw it. I'm gonna play this one. What's in the news? Hey, I got these things, man. I'm gonna hit these buttons, y'all. Don't be mad at me. This is actually fantasy impact, because Breece Hall Breece Hall went to the New York Jets. Now, that's kind of an issue, especially if you have Michael Carter Jr., especially if you actually listen to Robert Saleh and the things that he was saying about his running back and that he liked him and that he was going to get the playing time and blah, 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 this and that and whatever. Okay, but then they go grab Breece Hall. That's huge. I forgot Waddle. What do you mean Waddle? Oh, no, Ken. We didn't forget Waddle. It's just that there were so many moves made, and we're going to touch on all of them. We just have the luxury of having weeks upon weeks before we have to.
You can only touch on one or two a day.
You know what I'm saying? But there is a lot to be said about the receivers down in Miami. Let's see what
the whole team right now.
Dude, right? Hey, look, we're going to get to Miami at some point in time, and that's going to be an amazing conversation because they're loading up. It's going to be something crazy. Let's also drop the price of wide receivers because they can trade away and just draft one on sale. Yes, of course. Right, exactly. That's what 100%.
Oh, yeah, you're loaded up.
100%.
One.
Yeah. The fact that so many defensive guys, especially from Georgia, went so early in the draft that knocked down all those offensive guys. I mean, if you remember, Nick Chubb got drafted in the second round. He's a second-round guy. Breece Hall is a second-round guy. Breece Hall is legit. He's legit. He's going to take production away from Michael Carter Jr. Like, there's no doubt about it. There's still going to be a role for this guy. But I want to remind everybody to go ahead and hit that like button, dude. Hit that like button. What you scared of? Hey, and we want your comments and we want your...
Like Walter Payton.
We want to... Say what now?
Like Walter Payton. Just like it.
Right. Exactly. So there's one more guy I want to talk about. I have so many. Sky Moore, Kenneth Walker, the third to Seattle.
Sky Moore. Does he have a better season than David Bell? Wow.
I don't.
Right now, let's break this shit down.
I don't think Sky Moore is going to play a full season. I think he's going to come into this season and miss some games. So I don't know if the talent will transition right off the rip.
What about Bell? I
think Bell's gonna be fine. I think he's gonna be used. All right. So Bell has the luxury.
So what does that mean? What is a good season for
a rookie quarterback coming to the Browns?
That was taken at what, 68?
Right, 60 catches. Give me 60 catches and 700 and let's go 850 yards.
Ooh, how many receivers and Browns have done that for the past 10 years? 60 catches. We got Deshaun. Oh, you know what? We're going to start off with Jacoby Brissett. All right, fine. 52 catches. Ooh, how many catches did Jarvis have last year?
Oh, he went over 1,000, but I don't know. Let's look that up. Let's go ahead and try to look that up while
I can't. I don't have a computer, and all I have is his phone, and I don't even know how to use it very well.
Okay. Rashad Bateman, then. Rashad Bateman's
got you're talking about, wow, okay. So I think that fully with 68, what? That was what it was, right? 68?
Did I say 60? No, I said 60.
No. I'm talking about 68 was the pick. They traded down.
Oh, yeah.
And they took him. So 60 catches for 800 yards.
Yeah.
I think that way exceeds expectations. I don't see that happen.
That's okay. I think that's
that's great.
I think that's all right.
That puts you in the top 25 of the NFL.
I'm saying that right now. I'm saying that maybe. Because, I mean, the ballers, the beasts out there, the guys that are like target monsters, they're going to pull in 90, and then guys who have a down year that are beasts are going to have 70, 75, right. And then on down the list, and then on to a rookie who outperforms his draft stock, 60. 52-60, something like that. I feel like that's fair. But
that's a high fair. But yeah.
Right, and maybe a little bit optimistic, but that's okay. I'll be Mr. Optimistic. I have no problem with that. Treylon Burks, I already talked about him. Oh, he's gonna be so good, dude. All right, Kenneth Walker III. You gotta go get him, guys. You gotta go get him. That's all there is to it. Seattle runs the ball more than anybody else in the league. They're gonna feed this man the ball. Feed him. It's gonna be amazing.
Baker's gonna be their quarterback.
You know what? Even more reason to take the guy. That's even more reason to take him. There's going to be a lot of check downs and there's going to be a lot of running. They run the ball. I think I saw 47% of the time. That's madness. That's ridiculous. That's about all I have for fantasy. Hefe, did you have anything else you wanted to chip in there?
Not like draft fantasy. Look, the draft is just like it is when we do our own football, baseball, basketball drafts. You never know. This guy might get hurt. This guy's gonna do something, and then the 10th free agent taken off the board is going to be the number one player. You know what I mean? You never know. We'll see. I think the Browns did what they wanted to do, and as far as that goes, I don't know.
Right.
I do know that the Buckeyes receivers back to back way higher than they were supposed to be. But you know what? I think they both. Pardon me. I think they both went to good positions, good teams that need guys that the talents that they have. So I think they're both going to be successful.
The Jets are going to be I could take up a whole.
That was a great draft for them.
They did pretty good. They got some weapons around Zach Wilson. I think he's going to be good this year, man. If Zach takes that step forward from last season and the weapons around him work out, the Jets are going to be a lot better and they're going to be fantasy relevant. Like their pieces are going to be relevant. They got rid of Crowder. We just talked about like when teams get rid of pieces that they've had for years, that they've relied on for years, and they say, go away. Someone's coming in that they truly believe in, and
there it is. Not to interrupt that, a little bit to interrupt that point, but you know what? That's Jarvis right now. Because we thought Jarvis was going to be that piece, and you know what? It never worked out. And whether that's Baker, whether that's Stefanski, whether that's Odell, whatever the hell happened, Jarvis is supposed to be that middle guy that keeps everybody together. You know what I mean? And he was for years.
He was.
And last thing I'm going to say on football is this year, right now, coming up, is on Stefanski. Period, man. Coach of the year. And then last year he made all kinds of mistakes and did all kinds of stuff that are questionable. And everybody wasn't questioning it because he was coming off of being the coach of the year. And you know what? When you really dig into it and look at the things that happened and how we lost games and little things like that, it was Stefanski that lost us a handful of those games last year.
I'll partially defend him on that stuff. It's just that when the team is losing, everything is so magnified. You like every decision, every coaching play, everything under the sun is just more magnified when you're losing. So, of course, he's going to come under a little bit of fire. But like you said, ain't no excuses this year. You don't get any. I don't care how many games Watson misses. There's no excuses this year.
I mean, how many times are you going to say that I'll take my hurt-ass quarterback that can't throw for more than 100 yards over the backup that can't be any worse? And there were clock management issues last year. There were a handful of decisions that were made.
Speaking of clock management issues, hold on. Speaking of, there were some questionable time management games in this Warriors-Grizzlies game last night. You told me that you missed out on the game last night, so I'll just fill everybody in real quick.
Real quick, that's the one, though, because honestly, I don't know what's been going on with me lately, but I thought our show was yesterday. So I had it all up, and actually the one thing I have to say about the NBA playoffs kind of is that I thought this was going to be the matchup, Memphis and Golden State, Morant and Curry and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? That was going to be the fun one to watch.
Yeah.
And it looked like it ended up that way.
It sure did. The Warriors went on to win that game by 1 point. Ja Morant had an opportunity to win the game at the end. A couple of possessions before that, Steph Curry actually stepped up and stopped Morant from driving to the basket. Really good defensive play. It was clean. He got nothing but ball twice, actually. And it was impressive. But then he got a chance again at the end to make it right. And John Morant did not close that game out. And
He's a kid.
So here's where the controversy came in, though. Here's where it came in at. Number one, there was a jump ball called at the end of that game that clearly went off of Memphis. It should have been Golden State's ball heading down the court. And to call a jump ball at that moment in time was outrageous. It's ridiculous. It shouldn't have never happened. That was really bad officiating. But what are the players going to do? All you got to do is play it out. And then when Curry was coming down the court with about 30 seconds left, Memphis didn't foul. And I love that they didn't foul. I hated it while it was going on. I was like, oh my gosh, what's happening? You have to foul him now. Stop the clock. They didn't. They forced Curry, because he was going so fast, into a bad position where he really couldn't take a shot. He had to dish the ball out to Clay. Clay got fouled. Clay went to the line and missed 2 free throws that could have sealed it for him. So it actually played out the way that it should have for Memphis, in Memphis's mind. And I was really impressed by that, because if I was the coach, I'd have been screaming and hollering, but that was a good piece of coaching, good execution by the Grizzlies. They just didn't come through. But Hefe, you said you wanted to talk about some baseball, man. What you got on the baseball side of things?
Well, what do you got going on in baseball real quick? Once you got like 2 seconds.
Oh, yeah. No problem. So,
what do you?
I mean, baseball, man. Oh, my bad. Hold on. I muted you. Hold up. What's up?
Guardians are going to make the playoffs, not make the playoffs.
Yeah. No, we're in there. So we're good. The Guardians, 87 wins. We get the second playoff spot. That I do believe we played the last wild card spot. And then the winner of that 3-game series goes on to play the 3 seed, I want to say. I have it written down somewhere. But I do like our chances, and I do
for the whole season.
What's that?
That's the prognostication for the whole season for you.
87 wins. We're gonna get that second wild card spot. Maybe the
so
third.
How does the division play out?
Second. We'll come in second. But the problem is
who?
Three teams in the AL East are gonna finish ahead of us. Two of the wild cards are going to come out of the AL East. That's
you're not worried about the White Sox and the Twins?
No, I'm really not. I know that sounds crazy. I'm really not. I don't think the Twins pitching can sustain, and the White Sox aren't going to be healthy at all year.
They're going to get healthy, but wow.
They'll get healthy, but they're not. They don't stay healthy. And then on top of that, the manager, I hate the way he manages his bullpen. I can't stand it. I mean, there's some problems. He's super old school, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But the way he's protecting his pitchers is hurting his team as far as what I see. You need the best arms available and out there pitching for your squad. That's all there is to it. You just need the best guys that you can get out on the mound.
Look,
I think the Guardians are going to be fine.
Yeah, I think they'll finish third in the division, and I think they'll finish out. And I don't know. I don't know if Jose. I mean, I'm part of it's because I'm kicking myself in the ass right now because I had the third pick in my baseball draft.
Yeah,
my good, the one that I've been in forever, and I took Soto, and then because I did not want Jose Ramirez, but if I
had to roll that real quick.
Yes, if I had taken Jose Ramirez, I'd be sitting comfortably in first place right now. And then I took Bieber a little bit high. I hope so, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't see the Guardians, I guess. It's so hard for me to say that.
I know.
I'm glad I went and saw the Indians in the very last year that they were called the Indians still. And my daughter was with me. My dad, my pops from Chicago was here. And we watched the Cubs and the Indians play. And now we can't call them the Indians anymore.
Right. Yeah, I know. It's not easy, but I'm still trying to get used to it myself. But
you know what, though? You know what the best part of it was? It was still COVID related. And this is why I've been looking at numbers and attendance and shit last year and all that kind of stuff. But there were seats blocked off. And you know what I mean? Only half the stadium could even be, it was like 32% was allowed to be full. And we went on a day where 22% of the 32% was full. And we could hear every pitch. We could hear the people yakking. We could hear the players talking. And holy moly, Drew, I liked that better than any baseball game I've ever been to. And don't get me wrong, you get to a stadium that's hype and it's full, which is cool. But seriously, to like listen to everything that was said on the field as the game went on, blah, 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 it was pretty cool. I liked it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, hey, no doubt about it. I'm gonna miss going up there and calling them the Indians. But like, here's the thing. Is if our pitching stays healthy, we'll be fine. We'll find a way to score runs. I understand that we've pretty much been swept or done the sweeping this season so far. We're the second youngest team in the MLB. The second youngest team in baseball. This is gonna happen. Streaks are gonna happen all year. But hopefully, near the end, we start to mature and we can pull it together, or near the middle, whatever it may be. We got Jose leading this squad. We got Franmil leading this squad. Franmil's struggling, but he's still a veteran, savvy veteran that the young players.
Jimenez is coming on, man.
Hey, we got, yes, he's on fire right now.
That was our guy last year. He never came on.
And that's how it always goes, Jeff. That's how it always fucking goes, no matter what. I even drop an F-bomb, but if only y'all knew, that's how it always goes. But Placios, I'm not even sure how to say his name. We called him up recently. He's been balling out.
No, he won the walk-off winner or whatever the other night.
Right. Tristan McKenzie's looking great. You know, I think we're going to be fine, dude. We just got to stay healthy. It really comes down to that, because if the White Sox stay healthy all year, we're going to struggle. It's going to be a struggle. But I don't.
They're going to get healthy. They're going to get healthy, and they are loaded.
I just can't expect them to get healthy, dude.
They're loaded.
They weren't healthy. Liam Hendricks looks terrible. He looks fat and old.
Do you know how hard it is for me to even say that the White Sox look like a good team? Look, do you see my shirt?
Yeah, I know.
Do you see that? I mean, all that shit. I'm not even kidding.
They're good. They got pieces. Can those pieces stay on the field? I don't think so. It's signature segment time.
It's a pretty good. Yeah, there you go. It's a pretty great part to go to too, though. It really is.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hey, I can talk to you about that later. But anyhow,
Nuke Comiskey.
So check this out.
Want to go on a road trip with me, Drew?
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
And let's go catch 5. We'll go to Detroit, Cincinnati, Milwaukee, whatever's on the route.
Minnesota's up there.
Yeah.
We can figure it out.
Real.
We can definitely figure it out. So go ahead, tell the people everything you was telling me about the Kentucky Derby and try to win them some money today. Y'all need to pay attention.
Well, look, the original, when our whole crew was intact, it was going to be a local take. And my local take was a little history lesson on a jockey. His name is Eddie Maple. And the reason that I come up with the jockey is because Kentucky Derby is Saturday. And I was hoping Andy would be with us. But like I said, Andy, his week is Masters. My week is Kentucky Derby. And all I did yesterday was watch horse races and all these guys and everything that's going on. But anyway, the local history lesson is Eddie Maple. He was born in Carrollton, which is part of the 330, local, right around here. It's like Macedonia, a little bit north. But there used to be a track in Akron that most people don't know about. It was called Acosta Park, and it was right off of Route 8 in Cuyahoga Falls. And this dude won his first race when he was 17, grew up in a horse family. Anyway, he's in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, horse family. He's having
what's that?
Guy? No, my bad. Go ahead. Go ahead. Continue. My fault.
No, anyway, he's in the Horse Race Jockey Hall of Fame. He has 4,000 wins. and he won the Belmont and the Preakness, which are two of the three big ones. He never won the Kentucky Derby, but his claim to fame is he rode Secretariat, which is the greatest horse in the history of horse racing, on his last victory. And it was because the jockey that rode him normally was suspended for some crazy stuff, gambling, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, the post positions are picked. And yesterday, I want to post some stuff on our page, but my favorite going into this was Zandon. And this is before the post positions were picked and all those things. And it just so happens he got picked for the number 10 post, which is the number 1 winningest post in Kentucky Derby history. So my early prediction right now is put $30 on Zandon and he'll win you 150.
Okay. All right.
We're going to keep going though. But Eddie Maple, man, this guy, I didn't even know there was a track until I started doing research.
Sorry, I missed that last thing you said. One more time.
No, I didn't even know there was a track, like in Akron, like a real track.
Oh,
you know what I mean? And,
right.
and
No.
all of a sudden I find out it was built in like the 1950s, and it was one of the best tracks in the country for a minute. But look, I do have some things to throw out there, just numbers and all that kind of stuff. But I'm telling you, Zanda.
Sorry, I'm back. Here we go.
Yep. Zanda and charge it.
World. Yeah, I feel you. Okay.
We'll talk about it more before the race. I'll even do a solo show, but it's good.
On just the Derby. Yeah, maybe we could do that. Maybe we can help these people out here win some dough for sure.
Friday night, because Saturday, 7 o'clock.
Yeah,
Derby time.
No doubt about it. This is quick takes, by the way, everybody. But have faith, we can take our time with our takes today. You know what I'm saying? The only here's what I want to say for my quick take here. There was a post-draft NFL draft. All right. And these are who you may call the experts in the fantasy field. All right. There's no such thing as an expert. They're all analysts. We're all analysts. It's trying to predict through our calculations who's going to have a better season than someone else. It's as good as a goddamn guess for us as it is them. They have more tools, but we have more drive and will. There's no doubt about that. All right. So this draft consisted of Jeff Mans, Dr. Roto, Michael Fabiano, Howard Bender, Joe Dolan, my goodness, Jeff Radcliffe, Jim Coventry. These are big names in the industry, huge names in the industry, and they all do a draft after the NFL draft. So there's 2 points that I want to hit with this. This is important stuff for anybody who's playing Dynasty. This is important for anybody playing redraft. The first rookie taken in this redraft was Bryce Hall, and that was in the second round. All right. That's the value. That tells you everything you need to know about his value. That's a big deal. Also, Sky Moore went early. Who else was it? Let me see. Treylon Burks went really early. Kenneth Walker III, Jamison Williams, Rashad Bateman's stock has climbed over 6 rounds with these analysts here that I'm talking about. He climbed 6 rounds. That's a big deal. That's a huge jump. Marquise left town and they didn't prioritize receiver. So it was like, whoa, get on Rashad Bateman right now. So that's huge. And we'll post this to the page a little bit later. You can check out how these analysts drafted and everything that they did. And, we'll take your comments and everything like that. But anybody playing in our Dynasty Fantasy League, just go ahead and ignore all of that. I feel like I don't even have to tell them that. I should carry the belt with me all the time. You know what I mean? Because people pay attention when that belt is around you. You know what I mean? Hey, it is what it is. 2 in a row. And I got the youngest team in the league. Wow.
Yeah, I gave it to you. I gave it to you last year.
What do you mean?
And then it all went to crap.
Oh, the belt.
Yeah, I had the belt. I gave it to you though. Joe gave it to me at Acme.
That was 2
In
years
Montrose.
ago. That was
Yes,
2
I
years
know
ago.
it was.
I
I know
won
how many
again.
times I win.
I
And how
won
many times I
again.
don't win.
I won again. It's no fluke. I be trying to tell these dudes, but it's okay. Maybe, you know, I'm gonna start driving around with it. I'm gonna put a seatbelt on my championship belt so I don't get scuffed up. You know, you can check out my Facebook page and you can watch me cleaning the belt with a microfiber rag. I'm taking good care of it, y'all. So don't worry about it. Were there any final thoughts you had, Hefe, about sports today, or leave some nugget for the people?
I think I had something for a minute, but my pizza is smelling cold right now, and I'm about to go eat that. But no, you know what I mean? I think we'll see how the Browns thing worked out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we will see.
NBA playoffs, not super interested.
In the NBA playoffs?
Not right now. I'm
Oh
not.
man, at
Like I
least
said, this is my week. This is my week. I'm interested in the
State
Kentucky
Denver.
Derby. So stay up on the Facebook page and you'll see, because I'm about to be putting some Kentucky Derby stuff up on there, because that's my deal. I'm trying to figure out my little exotic bets, and I'm telling you right now, put 100 on Zandon. Might have to change that because his odds aren't that good right now. But man, that's the horse I like. Number 10.
Right. If you think they're gonna win, you put the available amount of money that you can put down there. It don't matter. Like if there's somebody who I'm betting on and they're like minus 170, but I know they're gonna win, I'll still put 100 on it. I don't care if it doesn't pay out $100. It won't. It would pay out like whatever, less than 100.
Well, yeah, actually last year I hit the Derby big, Medina Spirit. I had him. I hit him for like 1,600, and I hit pretty good on the Preakness. I was plus on the Belmont. Those are the three big races, which is what we'll get into as we go. But those are the three big races. And then we went to the Ohio Derby. I took my daughter, man, who just turned 4. And I'm like, hey, we're going to the horse races, baby girl. And I lost every single race except for the heavy favorite, 1 to 5. And I put $100 on him, and I won $108, which isn't a good bet. You know, why are you going to put 100 up to win 8?
Oh,
seriously, that's
right.
like
no, those are bad odds. But
yeah.
God,
And that's where
won,
like
though, but it won.
Here we go. We'll address that this week.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, everybody out there. My final bit is just stay safe. Do what you need to do. Work hard. Keep your head down. Keep trudging forward. Make some progress. Hit some
Get better,
goals.
Joe. Hope you're feeling all right.
You say what?
Said, hope, Joe, you're feeling all right.
Right.
True.
Everybody
hope
was
you
Joe.
Keep feeling all right.
Yes. Happy health. A happy health.
Yes.
Whatever that might be. Deuces, y'all. Peace. Oh, man. I wish I could close out shows like Andy. Nobody closes out shows like Andy, dude. I can't do it. I'm just not. You know what I mean? We miss you. Miss you too, Andy. All right, y'all. Peace out. Full crew next week. Deuces.